Everybody, today we are circling back to a deck that I really liked and we didn't play that much of. This is Necrofrog, or this is also a pretty different build of that deck. The idea, one big idea here is Orcish Bowmaster at maybe an all-time low in presence in the modern format right now compared to any time it's been printed. We are actually playing Bowmaster in our deck, but overall, Bowmaster just not that popular card in the modern format right now. This, in theory, should make the card Necrodominance, just like something. It's something I'm really interested in looking at, something I'm really interested in working on. I think that like the format could really use a good controlling deck too, and I think that building the deck this way is really interesting to me. This is kind of like a weird hybrid of the like old Demir ring decks, if you remember that deck when they were like first popping up, where you get to play your card advantage spell and then you get to play some free mana spells to protect it, alongside Sheoldred for like massive life gain. And there's a similar formula here. Your free spells are now Force of Negation and Soul Spike. You play Necrodominance instead of Ring, which in a world without Bowmasters, maybe better. I think it's really cool too that if getting to play Waterlogged Teachings, Psychic Frog, and one drown, you have a lot of blue and black spells for your Force of Negations and your Soul Spikes. I like that you have two sources of card advantage here between Psychic Frog and Necro. I like that if you ever get lucky enough to curve Frog into Necro, you get to like hit them with the Frog, play Necro, draw a bunch of cards, and then discard those cards to Frog to have a gigantic Frog. But yeah, I was just looking at the deck and I'm like, I would just rather be playing Spell Snare and Force of Negation in this build than the discard spells. The discard spells can be very painful when it's Thoughtseize. They're really bad draws off Necro. Like counter spells are good draws off Necro. Especially Force of Negation, just being able to go Necro, Force of Negation up, Force, draw a bunch more cards. Where like it's just I always hated like Necroing into like a bunch more discard spells. Spell Snare is also like really premium card at the moment. You could Consign in the sideboard too. And I don't know. I have basically never seen anybody build a more counterspell focused Necro deck, and I'm excited to play it today here. Yeah, no March in this build. Zoshu with the 25 months. Hey, welcome back. Four swamps, but no Boggart Trawler. I need my Boggart Trawler and my Demir. Yeah, we're not playing Boggart Trawler because a lot of moons, a lot of main deck blood moons at the moment. So, we do have Waterlogged Teachings for some MDFCs that pitch to both Force and Soul Spike, but Boggart Trawler kind of tough. I think it's really important to play a bunch of basic swamps in the blood moon format. Sorry, Boggart Trawler. I just love saying it. The British in me just comes out. Looks cool. All right, let's keep this ham. Wish I was on the play. Yeah, it looks very similar to like the old Nassif builds. Your friend told me to give you a shout out yesterday. Much appreciated. You know what? Stay in your lane. Mutate player. shout out resend. Sorry, I'm going crazy today. All right, let's play Teachings. Against the Demir, or sorry, the Orzhov deck. Been pretty popular. Good chance there's a Felia coming down. Notably, I now could Soul Spike something. Not a single Boggart Trawler in the list, Governor. Good morning. Good morning. Boy. Trilth with the 40 months. Hope you're doing well. Thank you. Welcome back. Third mana in the form of a Witch Enchanter. They play a Skyclave Apparition. Exiling my Frog. Now, I don't think I need to do anything to this Felia here. I feel like they might mess up. I don't know why I was thinking they would mess up and flicker the Skyclave. Maybe it was just the pause. All right, taking 2 down to 17. Certainly would like to draw a swamp. I do have 1 island in the deck. I had 59 cards in the build for a while, and I was like, I'm like, I really want a way to be better against moon effects, because that's been something I've been losing to a lot lately. I wanted a way to be better against moon effects, and I wanted I needed 1 more card in the build. So I'm like, I'll just play basic island in the main. Still a little unsure if that was Correctamundo. I didn't want to main phase the Soul Spike on the Felia, because if they just have another Felia, they get to Violent, and it's pretty bad. Kill Skyclave and block the dog. I think that seems like a plan that gets like kind of wrecked by Ephemerate, but might be okay. I guess one nice thing about killing the Sky... Oh, so you're saying last turn you wanted to Soul Spike the Skyclave and then block the Frog. I guess that was better, huh? Did you see Nils Gutierrez? This from EURC? I did not. Maybe if you want to link it to me, I'll take a look. So the 6 months. Thank you. Welcome back. It's my birthday today. I'm turning the big 30. Nice. Congrats. Out of graciousness, you don't need to play my pet deck. Are you sure? That's so nice of you. Thank you. So interesting they didn't violin a 3-drop here. I'm a little bit scared that they've got that stupid can't play spells from exile card, the plot card. Maybe this will bait that out. Happy birthday. Okay, Flicker Wisp. So I'm down to 12. My opponent's going to have 3 points of power in play. 7 points of power in play. Not the best. I think I'd probably just have to like commit to getting another Soul Spike. Although I guess now let's plan to Bowmaster this turn. And then let's hit our land drop. I really like that this black-white deck is just like a viable modern strategy. I think gameplay's pretty good against it. This Star Race speaks for my soul. I've been thinking about doing Golgari Decker for a while. I don't know. I didn't think of going this route. Yeah, I feel like I just never see anybody going this route. Is it not better to try to kill the Skyclaves, given if they flicker, you can block? It is possibly better. I'm just kind of scared of the Felia in general. I do think I'm still kind of learning how to play against this archetype. 2 life from the Loam in Storm. Well, that is quite the clickbait. Rumble, Highway Robbery, Loam. They ticked up the Vial to 4, which is, I guess, really bad, because that is signifying that they have a Witch Enchanter for my Necro. Who's fair between black, white, and green, white? I don't know that I've ever played the matchup. So they ephemerated the Flicker Wisp? And then they're targeting... What do they target? Planes? Interesting. Do I chump? I guess I kind of have to chump. So this place got second in Prague. Or no, not second in Prague. I can't tell. Rumble and Storm is it seems weird to me. You have I was also playing Breach. Okay, just noticed the Breach. So no Row. Wow. Don't understand the Loams, really. I'm gonna be quite honest. So they did have the Witch Enchanter. Well played, opponent. Like I got pretty outmaneuvered here. I don't know how it wins. Well, it's got Grape Shot. Also, like no Past in Flames is kind of wild too. Like just actual 0 Past in Flames. Like Past in Flames is a card that I think is like just actually mostly like just better than Breach in this deck. Am I just wrong? I mean, you have Bobble. I don't even. I'm so good. Is there like a loop? Oh, okay. The loop is Artist Talent, Bobble, Loam. I understand. I understand. You discard Loam, dredge Loam. That gives you Infinite Storm. So Artist Talent is like your grinding station. Cool. Okay, so let's bring in these Toxic Deluges. Get these Force of Negations out of here. Consign, I think, is pretty good against them too. I don't know. I don't know how many copies I want. 2 or 3. Oh, like 2 snare. Let's do 2 snare, 2 consign. Fun. Okay, I want to be able to consign a vial, so we're gonna not lead on the teachings here, but this hand looks really good. What did Flesh Striker do yesterday? We did not have a good day with Flesh Striker, despite having a good day with it on Monday. I don't know. I'll probably play the deck again at some point. It is certainly pretty sweet. Spike on streamer server apparently because it's unplayable on both my computers. So my experience so far with Magic Online is that the client's lag is like just wildly random. Like last night, it was like 2 of my matches I played was like close to unplayable. The rest of them were fine. On stream yesterday, some of them were really bad. Some of them were fine. It's just, I don't know. Do you want to consign this ETB? I think the answer is yes, because I'm about to play Necro, so just any like kind of 1-for-1 seems worth. After brewing a non-Eldrazi K command deck in all colors but red, I gotta ask, when is red coming? I've been asked a couple times. I actually have an idea for one that I don't know if I'm gonna pull the trigger on. The mana base is like actually not so bad too, because you get Barbarian Ring and Sheffet Dunes, or not sure, whatever the red Sheffet Dunes is, the one that's banned in standard. You think I'd remember the name of that one? Okay, so I really want to land. Let's draw 5. Ooh, and we're lucky enough to find a Soul Spike. So I'm gonna play the Sheoldred deck. Let's pitch the Teachings and let's pitch the Cling. Yeah, Remnant Ruins. Yeah, I think like the good one. I've just played a lot of Sheffet Dunes, dude. Would the red cake come in? Let's be on Asmo. No, I'll see. I'm gonna work on it some more tonight. I started to build it yesterday and then worked on some other stuff. Did you see Dak Faden's Flesh Regulus with curiosity? No, I don't really go on social media these days, so I'm currently relying on you, the aspiring Spike viewer, to send me cool deck lists like you're doing now. So if you want to show me Dak's curiosity Flesh Regulus outlook, but yeah, I don't know. I don't really spend a lot of time on social media after the stream. Just a lot of exercise and writing and reading. Okay, so let's not just play Sheoldred into the stupid Spell Queller card. Jakey Nightmare full send. I don't know what that means, but thank you for the 50 months. Monument to Endurance. Okay, let me see. 3 mana, Arena Font, artifact. Whenever you discard a card, choose one that hasn't been chosen this turn. Draw a card, treasure token. Each opponent loses 3 life. Untap treasure token, too. Card's also really good with Psychic Frog. Card. Oh, no! It's a good... this is a card advantage engine that you can Goblet Engineer for. That is literally not something that exists. A card advantage engine that you can Goblin Engineer for. Has nothing to do with the famous modern card Endurance. An excellent point, Canister. I'm just like really scared because like I can't play more Goblin Engineer on this channel. I'm gonna lose my job. Yeah, let's just discard a Preordain here. I was gonna see what I drew and then decided if I wanted to just flash in the Bowmaster, and now I could just discard a Preordain. There's Dragon Engine. Yeah, there's Dragon Engine, but this seems better than Dragon Engine. Like this is like a constant card advantage engine, which doesn't exist compared to Dragon Engine, which is like, I guess it's not one use if you have the Goblin in play going. I know this card's cool. I mean, I'm probably gonna cast it sometimes and see how it goes. Oh yeah, sorry, discard to Frog. Too busy looking at this card. This is this YouTube leak Dax list. Wait for the ad to play. Palantir. Palantir is not a card advantage engine. Palantir is not a card advantage engine. Okay, so Dax build is Blurry, playing Forensic Gadgeteer. So mono blue instead of green, playing Curiosity instead. Moonstare prototype is weird. It's interesting. It makes colors. I don't love that the clue tokens from Gadgeteer don't trigger Fleshraker. I do generally like Gadgeteer though. These Pyroclasms should probably be Whip Flares. I don't really like Moonsnare prototype when like you kind of curve out at 3. Maybe it's okay. Yeah, I don't think I'd play Moonsnare probably. I guess you have the K commands. Have I seen Sky Serpent Seeker? Let me take that little peek. Yeah, I don't think I like this card very much. If the exhaust cost was like 2 mana or something, we could look closer at it. But this card is like 6 mana, put 2 lands in play. There is a better way to do that in Modern. Can play Seed Shark instead of Gadgeteer. Also doesn't trigger the Fleshraker, but I don't know. Good question. All right, so we don't get to draw anything for turn. My opponent, again, just still has done nothing. Let's see what we draw off the Frog. Okay, that is actually the thing that will get me to play the Sheoldred, because I can just have Consign or push up anyways. Polymorph for the 9 months. Thank you. Welcome back. Been thinking about the Dice Factor deck. Was curious if there are any thoughts on the new Lotus in the archetype or any thoughts on the card at all. I don't know if this is a good deck for the new Lotus. Could be okay. Okay, I'm kind of loving Consign. Good call. Frog would be so big. Yeah, Consign seemed even better than I thought. 2 snares still feels like a good number. Maybe we could cut the Cling and play Consign number 3. Let's try this. That's the funnest way to play Consign. Yeah, I don't know if I would be wanting to play the new Lotus in Dice Factory, because typically I don't really feel like that's a deck where I like to sacrifice my artifacts. I like to keep all my artifacts in play for that one. I am going to think more about the Lotus. There's a lot to think about with the new set. A lot of cards that I'm like very excited for. I will say I've been saying this for a while that I can't remember the last time we had a standard set that was like just a big miss. Like we haven't had many Adventures in the Forgotten Realms. We haven't had many Crimson Vows in a long time. Like those sets are like the ones in my most recent memory for standard sets where I haven't had like a lot of like stuff to brew and stuff to try. And so like I've been saying for a long time, above average standard set. Starting to think this is maybe just like where standard sets are at. Kind of rambling, but this is going to be a good one. Third Path Iconoclast and Fleshraker Curiosity, maybe. I'll say that looking at Dak's list, I feel like I'm not probably that interested in being blue instead of green. I think Thoughtcast is cool. I think I would still rather be playing Rumble and Stirrings. But I mean, I could be convinced. All right, they get an Aven Interrupter. Oh, for Modern? Yeah, for Modern, of course. That is what we'd like to talk about here. So let's save this Delta to Revolt Fatal Push. So like there's a good chance I'm gonna cast Necro next turn. It can save it interrupted. Then we crack out fetch, push the Aven Interrupter, maybe push something else too. What about Monument to Endurance? I think that card's cool. I think it obviously has a lot of good synergies, and the Faithless Looting, Psychic Frog at Underworld Cookbook format. Um, I like that it can do like 3 good things a turn, like kind of consistently. It's interesting to me that it's like a recurring card advantage engine that you can Goblin Engineer for. This is something that there is Dragon Engine, but I know this card seems better than Dragon Engine. You get to keep your cards in hand, which is cool. Um, I don't necessarily feel like I'm super sold on this card or whatever, but I think it looks pretty solid. There's a couple weeks we cared about standard. Yeah, that's true. During Modern's worst time in history. Yeah, rest in peace, Endurance got evoked. No, I was yielded to my instep. Oh no. This stinks. I really wanted to kill this before they could have Ephemerate up. I guess maybe I should have killed this in response to the Aether Vial because of Flicker Wisp. Okay, so I'm gonna target now in response to the Overlord trigger. So this is better against Ephemerate and worse against the Wisp. So I'm pitching Necro because I'm gonna cast another Necro here. I kind of want to keep a Soul Spike, right? So when Necro comes down, I get to Soul Spike something. This is worse against another copy of Aven Interrupter. This is worse against a Skyclave. In fact, I might actually let's keep the Necrodom. Let's pitch push Soul Spike. Because if they have Skyclave, I can go I can push Aven Interrupter, cast Necro for 0 mana. They Skyclave my Necro and just cast another Necro. Or if they have another Aven Interrupter, I could just cast another Necro. Thought Cost is better when comboing. Stirrings and Rumble are better for finding the combo. Maybe. I mean, Rumble is really good when comboing because the spawn triggers the Fleshraker, and then it finds you another card that triggers Fleshraker a lot of the time. And Stirrings is also good when you're comboing too. Okay, resolved. Nice. This makes me think that they have another Aven Interrupter. Just wait. I'll wait for them to activate the Emperor. It's just so awkward if they don't, and then they just hold up the mana. Would love to see this Blink Dex win rate without turn 1 Vial. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. I saw that Dingo was playing Guide Pride over Vial yesterday, which I think is interesting. Vial is really good in the deck when it's in turn 1. You top deck it sometimes. Recruiter is much worse card without Vial, so there's something to be said for that. I do actually have a kind of a take on this archetype or whatever as a heads up. Okay, so they main phase this Wisp, so they obviously have another 3, or they're trying to get one off this, I suppose. There's a Skyclave Apparition. Flicker's pretty medium without Vial. It's still good with Felia and Ephemerate, but yes, I agree. Also, Wisp is just kind of good against a lot of stuff in the format. Okay, this is an incredible draw. Okay, so I Fatal Push Aven Interrupter. I cast another one. I go to my instep. My opponent is going to presumably Skyclave this Necrodominance in response, or on my main phase before the trigger happens. And I can play the second Necro. Now, the number of life we pay here is really weird. I think it's going to be minimum 7. I only have one other Soul Spike left in my deck. Is Palantir of Organic good in Eldrazi Rim? No, that card sucks, dude. I'm going to pay... So I paid 9, I go to 11. I go back up to 15 after I kill Flicker Wisp. I take 7 down to 7, so down to 8. And they get an Aven Interrupter back in my hand, which I hope to find Consign plus Toxic Deluge. Oh, yeah, let's draw 9. Good news, I found the other Soul Spike. Bad news, I didn't find one more black card. I guess let me go ahead and target the Skyclave. I think chumping the Overlord's probably something I want to do. Gotta keep the Deluge, I think. I think I also have to keep the other Soul Spikes, so let's pitch these. Best modern card, Aven Interrupter. What about Delighted Halflings so you can cast Necro turn 2? Well, that is a different deck you're building. You can go ahead and build that, maybe. I do think, could you play a Green Sun Necro deck? I don't know. There's not really much like life gain you could Green Sun for in a Necro deck, which is a problem. But if you could find something good, then maybe you'd be cooking. All right, so attacking me for 8. I'm going to chump block. They mill. Belly of Flicker Wisp. A lot of good options here. Dead to Emperor plus activate. No, I don't think so. They would get to wisp this, and they would hit me for 6 plus 5, which is 11. Nourishing Shoal is a reason to splash green. There's a version of Legacy. We've played a bunch of Necrodominance Nourishing Shoal. It has never gone very good for us. Have you tried Green Sun Tamashii Bloom yet? No, I mean, this is a deck that, like the builds that are coming out look almost exactly like the Nassif builds from, like, 3 or 4 years ago. So I don't know, I've seen these decks. I think that they're fine. I think that they're worse than Blue Belcher. So I don't know, yeah, I think I would just rather play Belcher. Yeah, I've seen I Name as one. It's like the canister tech, right? My opponent chooses Skyclave Apparition. Then they play Emperor. Post-combat. What could this be? Ephemerate? It's Ephemerate. Aether Vial. So it seems like I'm going to use all my mana this turn, so I think I might as well fetch my basic island. I think Tamashii Blue has a better black-white matchup. That's something. It's a data point for sure. Spike, don't you think the Preordain should be clean so you can stack them as full Spike? No, I don't. I need blue cards for Force of Negation, and Preordain's also Dig You. The card selection in this deck is really valuable. You should know I'm not the biggest Preordain fan in general, but in this deck, I think it is quite a nice card to have access to. I think I'm going to keep both of these. No, the Bowmaster. I was thinking Bowmaster like as a black card, but it's just not that good of a black card, I guess. Let them Skyclave, then Toxic for 5 in second main. It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad if I pass priority and then they just don't Toxic Deluge. You know what I mean? It's pretty bad if they just don't Toxic Deluge there, but it's an option. Am I playing the challenge? Not today. I'll do one on Friday. Seems like they're thinking about putting something that's not Skyclave into play. Don't, worry too much here about losing the Necro at 5 life. They're drawing up to their third card. They have been missing land drops, which is not great for me. I don't think I have a really strong impression about what's in their hand. They did like pause when they played the Vial for a bit, so they could have Ephemerate, but I also feel like almost certainly they would have held up Ephemerate or main phased Ephemerate, or something instead of playing the second Aether Vial. So there's that. Now we're dead to Emperor of Bones plus activation, but 2 Emperors are accounted for, right? Also, no other black mana. Yeah, it could also be lag. That's definitely, it's a lot harder to get reads on hands because of the lag these days. Do you think the new Lotus will see any play in Modern? I think it's unlikely, but this card is kind of similar to Karn Clan Ironworks in like an eggs style strategy, so it's definitely not something I want to like completely dismiss. What is in their hand? Literally, what is in their hand? Yeah, Casey, I mentioned. So yeah, it's like it's kind of interesting that you can, if you can get the Lotus down, you can sack a bunch of artifacts, get a lot of mana, Fates Reward everything back into play. This card also costs 6 mana in a world where Underworld Breach Grinding Station is a really efficient combo, in a world where Goblin Charbelcher combo is a really efficient combo. So it seems like it probably will not see like competitive play, but I don't know. It's not something you can shape anew into because you need other artifacts in your deck. Although, could you have a deck of all food tokens, and your only artifact is a Lotus, and then you shape anew into this? No, probably not. But you can dream. How am I so far ahead in clock? I think that they're experiencing lag and I'm not. This may be because I shredded most of my collection. Their hand almost has to be push plus Solitude. I think that that's a pretty good read, yeah. Solitude became kind of clear, and it's not Solitude white card, so yeah, push plus Solitude makes a lot of sense. Is this an Emperor of Bones? So this could have been the black card, maybe, and they were just waiting to set this up. So they're definitely going to activate now. So it seems like I should Soul Spike in response to the adaptability to make them tap some more of their mana. It goes in Tron. Karn Clan Ironworks D-tier. I mean, I don't know. Like, is this a better mana engine, like artifact combo deck in Tron than Semblance Anvil or Dice Factory? Could be. Could not be. They only have one black. They can't readapt. Yeah, I just wanted them to spend the mana. Or you're saying, I was saying do it early to play around second adaptability. Yes. This is also part of it, for sure. It's Lotus Ring all over again. I mean, I don't know if anyone is really excited about Lotus Ring. Maybe there were a couple weirdos out there. I certainly didn't hear much about it. All right, I do think it makes a lot of sense for them to have a Solitude in their hand, so I think we should probably be attacking with Sheoldred. I think I'll save this also, so if I draw a Psychic Frog, it can block a Skyclave. Hey Spike, today's my birthday, and I think you should play insert chat's pet deck today. What's funny is it's someone else's birthday in chat, and they said I don't have to play their pet deck today, so let's just let you two cancel out. So my opponent's going to go down to 3, presumably, and then if they rip that 5th land for Solitude, I guess we could hope it's a Witch Enchanter. I don't think it goes in Tron, it's just like another Lotus Frags. Yeah. Like, maybe in your Eggs deck, you would play one of this Lotus, like, reshape into, potentially. I'll try it. I will try to break that card. If you Soul Spike their face, I think you just win. I think this is a comment to make for sure. I don't think that that's true. My opponent, I would have to block the Overlord with my Sheoldred, wouldn't I? They could also get Flicker Wisp or something to remove my Sheoldred. I think this is. I think getting aggro with Soul Spikes this match was not an option. That's a very fun draw, because now if my opponent loses too. I don't think I played this match perfectly. It's very hard. I'm still learning to play against the black-white deck. Maybe go in the Karn board for Dice Factory. Yeah, I think this card could be a good Karn board target, because like your Karn board slots are allowed to be kind of win more. It's like the only time you can like play like a kind of goofy 6-drops like this. Like I even think, and like if you ever play like a monocolor Karn deck with a lot of basic lands, Wintermoon is just like a really great target, which we did in our like Flare decks sometimes. So I think this is going to be Witch Enchanter to block, and they couldn't play Witch Enchanter to cast the Solitude that we were presuming is in their hand. You're at 5, block go to 9, block 4, kill Skelly, and let 7 in. Yeah, but then they get a remove. But then they get like Flicker Wisp. They can get Aven Interrupter. Like how are we like beating the Overlord trigger there? Now they can push though. That's true. Not much we can do about that. Do we think that that's their card though? Could be. Wintermoon in the landfall deck, maybe? Maybe. It could be a sideboard card. Do we talk about the blue artifact tutor that can grab Belcher and sack to Flare? When did they just pitch Castle Solitude? Oh, good point. I guess I can't tell what their hand was then. Hello, Spike. Can you check my deck to tell me if the deck idea is any good? I would love if you're interested in it and make it better with your knowledge. I get a lot of comments like this as a first-time chatter. I'll take a quick peeky peek. I sure have played Pyre of Heroes Humans in like 2013. A shockingly similar build to what you have here, actually. And it wasn't good in like what did I say, like 2019, 2020, 2021 maybe. Not gonna be something I would really recommend here. But as a little gift to you, Hapatra is a human, and Hapatra plus Yawgmoth go as another little combo wombo there. Should be black-white again, I guess. Yeah, we saw Monuments of Endurance. As Canister pointed out, that looks nothing like the card Endurance, but I guess rest in peace. Got evoked somewhere along the dusty road. I don't know how I like that card. I think it is definitely one I'm gonna try. I think it's good with Psychic Frog, it's good with looting, it's good with Street Wraith, it's good with Cookbook. It's got a lot of it's a recurable card advantage engine you can Goblin Engineer for, which is pretty scary. Did I see the Golgari Reanimator list that went 5-3 in Prague? I did not. I would love to take a look, though. I like Golgari Reanimator. No looting is kind of crazy, though. That's kind of why I've moved away from those effects. Okay, so we're going to do a little bit of discarding. Start off with a Preordain. Interesting choice. Okay, well, probably have lag for it. You'll hate the Golgari deck. Well, I can pretend I don't hate it if you want. Okay, the Necro just resolved. I'm gonna draw like probably 10 cards here. I have Soul Spike in my hand. I really want a Necro. Maybe 12 cards. Could discard extra ones to Frog. Really, again, did I say Soul? I really want a Soul Spike. I really want a Force. So let's pitch the Teachings. Let's pitch a Bowmasters. Okay, I was gonna discard 7 cards here for my Frog. That was an easy game. So they are either Gorios or they are Oculus with the white splash. I'm gonna bring in the let's assume that they're Oculus for now. It's not like 4 Spell Snare, 4 Force would be super bad against Gorios. So let's bring in, although I guess I'm gonna go down to Force. I was also wanting to bring in Deluges against Oculus, so this is. I guess I'm just gonna pick a lane here a little bit, or actually let's hedge a tiny bit. Just play like 1 Surgical, 2 Deluge. What could go wrong? Could go down to Soul Spike maybe. It doesn't really line up super well against them. Could be okay against Frog sometimes. It's just so tough to play Necro without Soul Spike. So let's keep him in. Yeah, where did the okay? Here's the link for the Golgari deck. You were right. I do hate Phyrexian Fleshgorger. This is really like standard player tried to build a Reanimator deck. I do hate it. With Peace and Love. I do like that they're playing Shifting Woodland. I think it's kind of just like the unbanned Faithless Looting. Can we try to play it in these decks? I hate these cards a lot. Is what it is. Okay, no lands here. I'm punished for my hatred with no lands. Let's look at Web Strike Elite. So 2 mana, 3/3 reach. And then when you cycle it, destroy up to 1 target artifact or enchantment with mana value X. So you can kill Urza Saga for 2 mana. Posse's Bug. Oh, close one. Kill Urza Saga, draw a card for 2 mana, 2 mana 3/3 reach. How good is 2 mana 3/3 reach? It does not block Guide of Souls very well. uh, Questing Bay, 39 months. Thank you. Welcome back. Okay, so Reanimator confirmed, I guess. Yeah, it also doesn't jump block Guy for also Pride if they jump it. My 2 mana 3/3 reach does not block the 1 mana creature very well. It's an insect, which is kind of relevant. Yeah, it's also something you can green sun for, but I guess you can't green sun for the good half. They find an ephemerate. I'm going to let them use the ephemerate because I want to see more of the list. But we'll be conceding, I think, pretty soon. Here is what I expect them to be on. Came 30th this weekend. Thank you, chatters, for helping me streamline my deck viewing process. Wow, no Archaeologist. 3 Solitude. Indulgence. 4 Indulgence, 2 Mending, 2 Snare. 3 Ulamog. I'm still kind of an Ulamog hater. But at least they know what they like. Still playing Exercise in the sideboard is really... this is the first Exercise I've seen in a modern sideboard post ring ban, and I'm very surprised to see a sorcery speed disenchant in a world with Underworld Breach. So yeah, don't think I like that one so much. I also feel like 3 Stony Silence is super mandatory in Goryo's, where 1, it's just like kind of one of the best sideboard cards in the format now, and it also just says 2 mana, no Graveyard Hate, if you expect their Graveyard Hate to be all artifact based. All right, let's save you some time here. It does look like it's this list. So we're going to game 3. It is kind of good to know that if it is this build seems to be like a lot more in on the combo, like just with Emperor or Goryo's. Let's get these Deluges out of there. I think we can actually afford to cut a Soul Spike now. As far as Force of Negation goes, Force of Negation is like kind of only good against 1 card in their deck. It's kind of only good against Goryo's, but that is really important card to be good against. Let's go down to Sheoldred too. Just play 2 Force, 4 push still against the Emperor. Frog deck, we have Force Snare, which is good. This seems fine. Is Consign good? Hits Atraxa and Solitude trigger. No, it's not good against them. Like, consigning an Atraxa trigger will have its moments, but I don't think this is a particularly good way to like fight against them. Like, you are just hoping they don't have anything after that. I guess I'd go to 5. I've got, I have 23 lands in my deck, but I also have a bunch of Surgicals that are just kind of like stellar draws. Tough to mull to 5. 2 games in a row here. Save me, Preordain. Okay, maybe Teachings for a Surgical if I get a little flooded. Good top deck. I'm going to play the Teachings as a land now that I drew the Surgical for sure, and then I'll set myself up to top deck a Necro and get back in there. Any consideration for Commandeer on the board? 1, to deal with instant speed threats, and 2, steal cards like Rumble. Okay, playing Commandeer by sideboard to deal with Malevolent Rumble seems like a bad plan. As far as dealing with instant speed threats, Roll to 5, double Thoughtseize. As far as instant speed threats, if you could give me like an example of what we're talking about, I could respond. But yeah, it doesn't seem like Commandeer is good against most things these days. Necro off the top. Necro off the top. Looked like a Necro for a second. Like, I think the fact that the best card to steal that we could come up with here was Rumble is a pretty telling thing. I'm gonna wait to push because they're holding up Ephemerate, so I want them to Ephemerate on their turn so that they don't get the card next turn. Punished if I draw Force or Necro a little bit. But you know what? I'm happy enough. Happy enough to still draw the Necro here. How many cards do we want? I think we want a lot of cards here. If I draw 10, I go down to 7. I Soul Spike, they Ephemerate, and then kind of not in great shape. I think I'll just Soul Spike them, probably. But I really want to find a Force or Surgical. Nice. I found Force and Surgical. Let's go. Okay, and another Soul Spike. So I'm going to pitch Teachings, Bowmaster, and then can I afford? Should I pitch the? Maybe I should have. Sorry, I guess the second Soul Spike it didn't even register to me that I could target the frog, but they could still keep their frog alive. I think that I'm just going to target them here. Just so valuable to get kind of aggro here and use our cards before we discard them. They discarded Gristlebrand. This was a tough game here on our Mold 5. Thank you, Necro. Still a pretty silly card. We have Force of Negation up right now, which is so sick. So they have another Goryo's in their hand and a Falahi Archaeologist. So they're not playing just that build. They have one Ulamog, so a more normal build. 3 Consigns. Good to know about. Commandeer is best against K-Command in our instep, which is otherwise bad for our Frog plan. That's true. It's kind of bad if there's K-Command in response to the Necro trigger, but yeah, that is true. So they mill Consign and Teferi. Can only get one, and I'll Force of Negation probably whichever this game. They do choose the Consign, which they can't cast right now. They also should have definitely attacked with Frog before playing the Archaeologist, right? They could have drawn Atraxa. They could have drawn Consign. They discard the Consign. We'll take it. So their hand is just Agorios. They don't. They're going all aggro here. I guess this was a reason to cast the Archaeologist first. Got a lot of outs to this. I'm gonna go ahead and bottom both of these. Am I gonna draw 8 cards here? I guess I don't have that many outs. I have 1 Drown in the Loch and 3 push left plus Soul Spikes. I guess I'm gonna draw 8. Okay, there's the Drown. It's not actually an out, but we have to go for it. Okay, cool. Because my opponent, of course, could exile their graveyard. I have seen Monument to Endurance. I think it looks pretty cool. So next turn I can play 2 frogs, and then I can play Sheoldred and gain some life. I think I need to force this so they don't find like Frog or Emperor. It's just like such a disaster if they do. They don't have like any reanimatable creatures in the yard, so I think this is good. Yeah, if they had one more card in the yard, it would have killed even through the Frog. Okay, your turn. You want to kill my Necro for me? They've drawn another spell. An Emperor of Bones. With presumably no black mana available. Just a frog in the yard for now. The frog, it represents 3 damage next turn. So if I play Sheoldred, fly a frog, I have to fly a frog. I gain 2 up to 3, and then I pay 2 life to my Necro down to 1, and then up to 5. So we should be okay. Can you talk through the decision of double frog or Sheoldred first? Yeah, so I think it's kind of easily double frog, right? Because we're at 1 life, not 2. Maybe I should have gone to 2 instead, but I really needed a freaking removal spell. Um, so my Sheoldred is not going to gain me any life until I hit my opponent with a frog, so it makes sense to play frog first. Spike, have I disabled deck text? Yeah, I think that the deck text, channel point deck text, bag spike for deck tech, paid deck techs have just overall been something that I'm just kind of tired of doing, and I think that they make like the YouTube videos worse. I think they make watching the stream worse, and so um, I don't know. I think it's I don't know exactly how to stop people from begging for deck techs all the time, but I I do feel like maybe this era has kind of ended. Okay, so we get to go up to 5. Disable links. I don't know. It's okay. I mean, sometimes like people will have a really good pitch. Like I still like to talk about ideas, and if people, it is still nice if someone has like a really good idea, like the Fleshraker Keensen's thing. It's good, but if people have good ideas, they're going to tell me, and I think that that's nice. Um, but yeah, I do think overall they've just been. I'm just kind of tired of them. Okay, Pun says GG's. We are 2-0. Very close match there. We could go to 6, I think. Okay, that sounds better. I think it's more important to have Soul Spike for the turn we play Necro than it is to have the Sheoldred for the turn after. Why the room changed since New Year's Eve. So I moved down here for the 24-hour stream because it was going to be a bit more comfortable for me and for Dingo. And then I also need to switch my stream room upstairs because the guest room is like a lot cooler than the stream room. The stream room is like right by a window and it gets pretty hot in the summer. So I have not started on that. I did buy carpet removal tools, and so I've been, I think on my non-gym days, I think I'm gonna start ripping up carpet instead of walking pretty soon, hopefully. All right, so let's go ahead and just try to go Necro Snare up to play around Counterspell. But I also like being down here. I wanna be back upstairs eventually, but it's been nice. Like I may even just like set up a station down here for like my own personal use because I really like being down here after the stream. All right, with the snare, let's go ahead and jam. Hope that they have a counter spell, not a force or a seeing. I guess Seek would be fine, but force or spell pierce. Hellraiser anytime soon? I've been thinking about it. I haven't really found anything to do with it. Cancel better than counterspell. Juicy. I don't know what I'm getting with this, but I think I would prefer to play this as a spell than a land. Kind of close. I don't think this Force of Negation is getting much better. I just played versus this person with Frog Necro. That's so funny. Probably gonna get Bowmaster, right? Playing Force and Soul Spike in the same deck is crazy work. Yeah, it just like we have so many blue-black cards. It just kind of the room gets tied together pretty dang well. So, I can get Bowmaster. I can try to Bowmaster Fairy Seer, and then my opponent will Spell Stutter Sprite because they're so thirsty to cast the Spell Stutter Sprite, and then I can Fatal Push the Sprite and still kill the Seer. Did they fix the lag? Lag seems to be pretty random. Like, it's like sometimes the match starts off fine. woohoo, they fixed it. And sometimes, also could have got Cling to Dust there, maybe. Um, sometimes it starts off fine and then it does not end up fine. It's just like, it's just pretty random, it feels. It's gonna be phase. What are the Waterlogged teachings for? Are we actually playing them straight as a tap land? We sometimes want to cast a tutor. I think of the cycle as something you play when you Thundertrap Trainer, and it will find a land. Okay, so Waterlogged teachings. It is a blue card for Force of Negation. It is a black card for Soul Spike. This is the most important thing. This is the main reason why we're playing it. Okay, love trading for the Force like this. Yeah, this is the main thing. It's a blue card for Force. It's a black card for Soul Spike. It also happens to be like one of the better MDFCs because yeah, you will just cast it, get a Force of Negation, get a Cling to Dust. Like there are cards you'll get with it. All right, they can't Spell Stutter Sprite me. I'm gonna go ahead and jam, I guess. Flame of Nor would be quite bad. I think we jammed though. And that's the main thing, yeah. It's like, you know, if you've seen Necro decks in general, they basically all play a bunch of MDFCs, and the MDFCs, oh, they don't have it, let's go. And just the MDFC, like, we're choosing to play is the blue-black one because we're a Force of Negation deck. Let's go, can't beat a Sheoldred, although, I don't know, conceding there with in your Flame of Nor deck is tough, but they probably just have, like, nothing going on. Okay, so I'm going to bring in a Snare, I'm going to cut a Force of Negation. They do probably have Blood Moons. We could try to fetch around it. I think I'll play 1 Deluge, 2 Force. They probably have Snapcaster, but I don't typically. Historically, I haven't like surgical against Snapcaster, so let's run this, I think. Had any brews with Proctor Lotus Field control? No, I haven't. Proctor seems good into Energy and Breach. Proctor is really bad against Flage. Also, I don't understand what it even does against Breach. Oh, it stops the untap for Grinding Station? I don't know. I'm not the biggest strict Proctor guy, but it can be okay. So let's not get Spell Stuttered super duper hard. Or maybe I should say bait Spell Stutter with the Bowmaster on their turn, possibly. I have literally never seen Wizard's Lightning in Modern, I think. Trying to think if I have. Like, in a world where Lightning Bolt isn't very good, to see a Wizard's Lightning is pretty shocking. In a world where Lightning Bolt is bad, one Magic Online user has a dream, has a vision. Wizard's Lightning coming to theaters near you. Ah! Not only are they playing at least 2 Wizard's Lightnings, they're both in their deck after sideboard. We're 2-0. We're not 0-2 at the moment. We're 2-0. Although, you know, I guess you can't spell Snare either one. Gets around Chalice. Okay, untapped Steam Vents. Yeah, we'll side in Surgical for game 3 to see the list. For sure, we'll do that. Your Necro deck, I would never take up my burn. Maybe that's fine. I think that could be a fine attitude. I personally feel like fighting Necro is better off. Are you better off fighting Necro by being like just counter the Necro and then their deck sucks a lot of the time. When I'm playing blue decks, I just try to counter the Necro. Although Frog, big wrench in the Is It Dex plan. 8 bolts against the Necro deck. Okay, do you think they boarded him in then? I'm also not taking out my counter spells. Well, what are you taking out? So I could discard Drown and Force, kill the Sleep Curse Fairy, and then just jam Necro. And then I lose to Force or Flare, but it's not like I guess if I counterspell this and they Force and Flare, it's is it even worse for me? It's actually like exactly the same, so let's go for this. Yeah, thirds Wizard's Lightning. Although I don't know, I'm just not playing Wizard's Lightning. I'm gonna put like Galvanic Discharge in my deck or something. They never expect the fourth Wizard's Lightning. There are 4 Wizard's Lightnings in my opponent's graveyard right now. I'm 2-0. And they Force of Negation the Necro. Let's go, dude. Let's go. They're gonna be dream. Wait, they pitched Flame of Anor? This is the Fairy Dream. Yeah, we needed Surgical for Wizard's Lightning. How could I not? I must be a new Magic player. So we're looking for Sheoldred, we're looking for Deluge, we're looking for Necrofrog. They even play Bolt? Unclear. Unclear. So I can Teachings for push, but I can't push this because of Ward 2. I guess I could have played my Delta. No, I wouldn't. I still want to tutor Soul Spike. They do play Lightning Bolt. All right. They do indeed play Lightning Bolt. I'm not going to bring in the Surgical. Great game. I'm not going to bring in the Surgical. Do you know when the next bans are happening? Nope. Not thinking about it at all. Double Soul Spike's pretty bad, but we'll keep this. Just like nothing I want to snare, and if I play this tapped, I think there's a good chance they will think I don't have a snare. But surely they're not like tapping out for anything that I need to snare. Hopefully we don't get snared. Hopefully we don't get scoldinged. Hopefully we get counterspelled. That works. I'm not complaining about that. Maybe keep up the Delta and play that instead. I mean, I just the effect. Our life total is just 19 instead of 17 because we took this line, and I'm pretty happy with that, I think. Okay, their Wizard's Lightning's online. I think this makes sense. Bowmaster in place seems solid against them, and I can still protect my frog from a bolt. Wizard's Lightning also turned off. We saw that they had 4 Wizard's Lightnings in their deck last game, if you're just now tuning in. What did they pitch to the Force again? They pitched an iteration. They exile Sleep Curse Fairy. Chat, are we cooked? Don't hate that draw. So I rolled 9. I go down to 14. Seems like a pretty safe life total. I guess 16 is a bit safer. Discarding the Cling feels a little bit weird because it's kind of like an Ancestor Recall here, but I think I guess discard Bowmaster instead. Yeah, Frog plus Necro is pretty good combo. How is Cling like recall? What am I missing? So Cling is like Healing Salve, which is like Ancestor Recall. I can gain 3 life with my Cling to Dust, which allows me to pay 3 more life to my Necro. So, yeah, so Cling is like Healing Salve, which is like Ancestor Recall. Okay, let's get a trophy prediction going. Good morning. Going a little smoother today than yesterday. Although we had a good Monday at least. Cling is basically like Reverse Lightning Bolt, which is this case 1 mana Lauren Revealed. Yeah, I wish we could play Lauren Revealed over Teachings, but I do think the Teachings pitching to Soul Spike is too important. Another Scalding Tarn opponent. Is Breach maybe? Tomio, Inquisitive Student. Fairies is needed 1 good card for 10 years. Yeah, I think the 1 good card thing is not something I agree with because it's like Fairies only actually has 1 good card, Spellstutter Sprite. That is the only good like fairy period. So do you need is 1 good card? We like really? It's like we need several things, I think. So it looks like we're up against wizards. Fairies into wizards. What a queue. Unironically would rather play against Underworld Breach. These are like the exact cards I'm looking for. Oh, sorry, I meant to put the frog on top, so I guess I have to play this untapped. Painful. Flame of Anor is a good fairy card. Yeah, kind of. It's a wizard card. Just a lot of fairies happen to be wizards. You know that. You know that. Yeah, 2 expressive iteration opponents in a row. At 2-0 and 3-0. So with double Soul Spike, so I'm going to go down 6 cards in my hand. I'm going to discard this. So I guess we're going to pitch it. So I'm going to go down 6. So I want to have at least 11 cards. Let's say we want to have 13, which is drawing 9. So then we have to discard down to 7. So probably 1 frog, 1 force. Maybe missing land drops. Kind of hoping they would Blood Moon. You need a 1 mana fairy. That's not fairies here. Yeah, if you, I mean, you got Keenan. Wait, why were they playing Keenan, dude? Keenan is like way better than fairies here. Maybe they were. Maybe they had it. Maybe they had it. I need to give them some credit. So I don't want to go too crazy here. I'll go like 5 cards. Keenan's not a wizard. Ah. It's all coming together. Seems like the right place to target that. 3 cards in their hand. I think you mean Kellen. I do mean Kellen, yeah. We don't get to draw this card yet, but we can draw it off the frog. So what happens if I discard 1, 2... I guess I can't discard the Sheoldred. 1, 5... just attack. Ooh, baby. Yes, please. Although I guess the problem is if I jam Sheoldred here, if I jam Sheoldred, then I can't really pay any life. Oh no, I can because I have Soul Spike on top. It's kind of it would be a gambit, I guess. But we can go play Sheoldred. Yeah, it should be fine because we can play Sheoldred, draw 3, and then if they bolt me, I have to one of my other 2 cards just needs to be a black card for me to not lose to bolt. So I guess we could actually hypogeometric calculator this just to make sure that I just love the calculator. The thing is, we're not kind of not losing to anything else, so this is maybe wrong. This is also going to take forever to count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 of my black cards are out. So I have 8, 12, plus 12 plus 9, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, plus 4 is 40. Minus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So I have 27 black cards left in my 32 cards that are in my deck. Let's draw 3. They also may not have the bolt, right? Love it when they make it easy on you. I think I'm still drawing 3. 17 left. You had an extra 10 there. Flare would be a fun last card for them to have. Dang. Is this Murktide? I thought this was a clue crack for sure. 6/6. Okay, my frog can theoretically contend. Okay, so it's a Thunder Trap Trainer. I have my basic island in the deck still. The island has been really good today. It was the last card I added. I don't get to draw a card. Turn. Yeah, I think I'm staying at 4 here. What do you think of Footfall's control, where you play Inevitable Betrayal on the board to steal Emrakul? I think that you're a little bit focused on the weird situational sideboard games and a little not focused enough on actual games of Magic you'll play where that just is not going to happen very often enough to really think much about it. I would even think. I agree that Counterspell makes sense for them to have because they didn't correct the clue. They reveal a Lightning Bolt. So if their hand is indeed Counterspell Lightning Bolt, we're kind of cooked. Kind of have to attack. I don't have a draw step, so it's not getting any better for me. I'm okay with them chumping though. Aren't they cooked if that's their hand? No, because I can't kill them, and they just take the hit and then they bolt me and then they counterspell my 4s. But if they block like this, then they can't do that. And because we think that might be their hand, we're still not going to draw any cards here. Even though 1 card would potentially let me get them. Although if they crack the fetch, then we can get them next turn anyways. Okay. I guess we're dead because we know that their last card. Oh wait, we're not dead because we have the Necro still. So, I mean, we could be dead. Probably dead. So I'm gonna draw 3 cards because now I just need to find a Force or my Cling to Dust. Is the Cling gone? I feel like the Cling is gone for some reason. We can also find Soul Spike, black card, black card. Oh, but they also have the Snapcaster Mage. Oh no. I don't know. I still need to draw 3. I need to draw like Push, Cling, Bowmaster, blue card. Hand could be Splitting Twin. Did they not just reveal a Lightning Bolt to the Thundertrap trainer, or am I going crazy? Yeah, they have their hand is a Lightning Bolt. I have to go for it, right? I mean, I have to pay 3, yeah, but they're just gonna bolt me. Great game. Close one. Honestly, Frog with Force Up is just so good. Maybe jumping the Frog was the line. Well, I was just the problem was like I really wanted them to block, right? Because we knew they had a Lightning Bolt in their hand. We really wanted them to block, so they couldn't just attack me for 1, then bolt me. Yeah, it was a good game. What did they give us now? Because they flashback bolt, which I forced the bolt, and then we knew they had another bolt in their hand from trainer. So we had to do something like draw removal spell for Snapcaster plus Force blue card, or like Cling plus push, Soul Spike black card. So like really specific 3 cards, but we didn't hit, of course. Yeah, I thought their hand was Counterspell Bolt because they didn't crack the clue main phase. Great game. Wizards maybe a little bit more potent than fairies. TBD. Kind of scary that we don't get to sideboard at all, really, or much for these matchups, but what are you going to do, of course? Just have turn to Frog seems like a pretty good plan. Should be getting Swamp here, I think, to play around Moon a little bit. No Snare, no Spell Snare, no Spell Snare, no Spell Snare. Preordain? Tomio? Let's go. Thanks for playing. It's been fun. See you game 3. I resolved a Frog against Izzet on turn 2 on the play. Would Death Shadow be good in the show? I know it's bad against push, but I mean this is a very different deck proposal you're proposing. It's also weird with Soul Spike. But this is really a control deck. This is the mere control that I've built. This is not a traditional Necro shell. This is I really think just Dimir control. Should have countered the Unholy Heat, I think. Was that something we could have done? What's up? They're gonna consign. They're trying to consign this. They can't because it's an activated ability. What makes you want push over March? Everything really. Like push is like a removal spell that can kill Tamio, Imri, Ragavan, Guide of Souls, Ocelot Pride, Psychic Frog, Oculus for 1 mana. And March of Otherworldly Light is a card that is really only ever good if you have Necrodominance in play. Yeah, dude, imagine Vapor Snag there. So I think it's good for our removal spell to be a card that is good in situations where we don't have Necrodominance in play. All right, let's draw 9. Kind of a vibe based 9 here, but although also okay, how many cards until I kill them? So I need to discard 11 cards here. I guess we should just try to play for that with Force Up. So what's 11 plus 5 is 16. So for me to have 16 cards in my hand, I need to draw 14. And then I would be at 50. And I just can beat bolts. Yeah. Just kind of fireball them. willing to die to 3 bolts here. Well, they can't have 3 bolts because they have islands. So they'd have to have like bolts with multiple Force of Negations up or something. I should kept the push. Just seems like the deck is low on life gain when you have Necro in play. I guess you play more priority on effective early. Yeah, yes. I think you should never not play 4 push here. I do. We are playing less life gain than Necro traditionally plays, but we're also just less in on Necro in general because we have the Frog plan and we have Preordain to kind of smooth out our draws and dig for our life gain spells. Like more card draw maybe just generally means you need less. More card draw could just mean you need less life gain. Sorry, losing my train of thought. So I do kind of want to play around Force of Negation, I guess, by playing the Sheoldred. It's too bad I can't jump the frog. I want to play the Sheoldred main phase 1. So I mean, I guess Flare doesn't really do it either way because they have to jump. But maybe they would brain fart and Flare. Discard. Jump. I can't jump because I have no cards in my graveyard because of Necro. So I think I should have kept the push. I think it was a mistake for me to not keep the push. I'm just gonna draw 1 because of the whole lightning bolt situation. Seems like they're gonna maybe consign this trigger, which would be fine. I know it's probably worth it, but it feels bad the Necro pretty much erases the jump text and frog. Yeah, well, we can use our 15-16 frog to cry ourselves to sleep a little bit. Okay, not going to consign the gain to him. Resolves. The Exile Scalding Tarn. Looks like this is the best shell for Frog. I think that this is probably better than the Oculus deck at the moment. I think right now the Oculus deck is really struggling from a lack of card advantage spells. Okay, kind of seems like they're gonna go bolt me, and I can drown one of the bolts, but I guess I lose to bolt force. So maybe I should have forced. I don't think I'm supposed to force the iteration there, but. Losing this game would be tough. Oh, it resolved. Nice. Okay. So that should be a win. Okay, cool. Whew. Scary. Eat grave with frog to counter force. That's like the biggest brain fart I've seen in a while. It didn't matter. Probably should have discarded frog instead of push. Yes, I think I said that a few times, but yes, that is definitely something we should have done. Okay, let's just frog is obviously insane draw, but let's just hold up snare / Travail Lantern 1 because I think I want to be able to snare a Thundertrap trainer so that I can resolve frog through a flare. Should I get island? Basic island. If I snare. Kind of like it. It's less painful. I have enough black sources to cast a Necro, but I can't cast a Necro on curve now. But this also means that a Blood Moon will be a little bit worse for me, or like, sorry, a little bit better, and I think that that's good. If they did play a Blood Moon here, though, I would probably just like discard my hand and attack. Just got here what makes this Necrofrog deck different from the old versions. I'm not playing any discard spells is the big thing. I've been just thinking about it a bit, and getting to play a combination of Force of Negation, Spell Snare, to me seems like a big benefit over just playing Inquisition Thoughtseize. I'm not the biggest fan of Inquisition Thoughtseize in general. I'm not the biggest fan of Inquisition Thoughtseize in this deck. And this is I think a pretty interesting way to build the deck. I've never seen anybody play Force of Negation, much less just no discard spells. So I guess I actually want to get my Swamp because of Blood Moon here. So let's go Swamp into Preordain into Frog, probably. And I do think Force is getting better in the metagame because of Breach, and I think this is just a great Force deck because Force just like Frog hold up Force, Necro hold up Force is just so good. Sheoldred hold up Force. If the tournament meta is mostly Boros, Breach, Eldrazi Ramp, would there be a good control deck to target those three? I don't know. In theory, that Jeskai build I played yesterday was trying to target those three, but we had a pretty bad record with the Jeskai deck yesterday, so I don't know. That's a hard question to answer. Never see this island, I see wasteland. Is it just me? It's not just you, or someone else has commented. True Hero, thank you for the raid. Welcome, everybody. Playing some Necrofrog here. 3-0 against Wizards at the moment. Like, the maybe one of the big ideas here is Waterlogged Teachings, allowing you to play Force of Negation and Soul Spike really smoothly. Where do Living End go? I don't know. I do feel like Living End maybe got chewed up by the Frog gamers a bit. We discard a Teachings and a Watery Grave. There's an Esper control list that seems good against those decks. Are we talking about like the Nassif Esper Charm build? I'm not the biggest Esper Charm believer, chat, but I would love to be. Not really, actually. I remember Yendrick would always be playing these Esper Charm decks. That's true. Living End is pretty bad against Bombardment. My opponent, I think, has a Lightning Bolt in their hand. They have a Flame of Anorm. That's what the Force is for. Can I take you to Blowout Town? Hopefully they don't take me to Blowout Town with a Spell Pierce. Oh, gross. Was I just supposed to discard my hand instead? Maybe. If we draw a land, we're in good shape. Oh, we're not actually, because they get to plus the Tamio. So for me to draw a card with Psychic Frog, I have to discard something. So I can't go cast Sheoldred. Attack the Tamio. Do you play mini draw go style control decks, or are they just not your jam to play or brew? Like all Magic the Gathering Twitch streamers, at one point that was all I played was draw go control decks. So I need to put 2 counters on the Frog to get around Bolt and to also stop the Tommy from minusing. Draw go control decks in Modern are not very good. We have played like a lot of Wizards, but like Wizards is it's not a very powerful archetype these days. No. No, my basic island. The island has been pretty good up until this point. This is a low. We have seen Monument of Endurance. That card's pretty cool. I feel like every game we've lost today, I could have just played differently to win. All right. Good match. Let's get a 4-1 prediction going. Let's mulligan this. Yeah, just any hand with a Frog or Necro is always so much better. What are we putting back? I think I'm putting back the Teachings. Hello, Spike. For you, impossible to play Warza Prison in Modern. I hope it's. I really don't want to play that deck. No. I have like a mono blue Urza deck that just plays counter spells instead of playing Whir of Invention and shitty lock pieces. I would recommend that build. I do not recommend 2015 Wurza. Hopefully they don't just have two. Okay, this is Dimir. I would love for them to go Frog with Force of Negation up here. Okay, keeps the card on top. All right, it is the Aspergoria's deck again, I guess. Cool. Push is actually kind of good against them. They're like an Emperor of Bones Frog deck, but doesn't seem necessarily good against their draw. What did they pitch again? They pitched an Ephemerate. Take that, I guess. Yeah, I think just we can cast Sheoldred next turn is gonna be fine. It's not as good as a Necro here, but I think it's fine. You know, I think there's, you know, maybe no more proof that like modern players just want to play their 2015 decks than the fact that like we were playing that mono blue Urza deck. We just had like 3 really good, pretty good leagues with it. I think we were like 11-4 with that deck overall. No one was interested in it. They just want to play 2015 Urza. Modern players just want to play their 2015 decks, no matter what year it is, no matter what cards Wizards prints. They just want. I just want to play Urza, or I'm going to go play Balatro instead, which is fair, valid. This is one of the deck spec was working on when I first found the stream. Is this the Grixis deck? Yeah, this deck was good for a little bit. How times have changed. I remember this was like so many Throne of Eldraine cards were so crazy. This is what I want to go back to. I brewed up a KCI style deck with new Lotus. So you could really take a look. I want to build it myself as usual. When did we play Blood Blue Urza deck recently? Yeah, post bans. I mean, not within like the last like 2 or 3 weeks, but I think we played like 3 leagues with the deck. I think what 4-1, 4-1, 3-2. And like I thought I even still would be kind of interested in playing that deck in a tournament. Maybe play Friday. So no Gorios, I guess. Wait, I thought they lost 2 with the Teferi bound Sheoldred. I guess not. No shot New Lotus is playable. I mean, it's only ever going to be playable in like a specific combo deck. But yeah, I think it's pretty unlikely. It's better than other engines. It's worth exploring at least. Let me pull up that Urza deck, see when it was. I even like played it a second time because I'm like, this deck was pretty good, and didn't seem like that was that much buzz. And then it was like pretty good the second time we played it, I think. I typed in Urza and I don't see it. Okay. Yeah, I guess at this point it says about a month ago, but I don't know. This build was like there's like a lot of fast mana, a lot of card draw, a bunch of like we have Force of Negation is kind of good again, so like I think I'm kind of back in on this. This is kind of back when creativity was really popular, so we're still playing Orvar, but getting Sink into the Stupor, the mana base was like just really, really good too. This deck kind of ruled. I wonder how the Breach matchup is probably pretty fine with all the forces. I also remember liking the energy and the frog matchup. Maybe I'll play this in the challenge on Friday. We'll see. Could play this deck too. We're gonna go to game 2 here. Okay, so we're down a game against Goryo's. Gonna bring in the snare, 4th snare, 3 surgical. Don't think I want the consigns. A point of contention potentially. I didn't get the Bowmasters last time. I went down 1 Soul Spike, 1 Sheoldred, 1 Force, and then maybe I did cut 1 Bowmaster. Maybe I went down to 2 Force. Let's cut 1 Bowmaster. Let's just do a little trimming. Wonder how the Urza deck would work with K-Command. Can't really fit Eldrazi Temple in here. You're kind of maxed out on Kolo's sources. I don't think you can really. It's tough to play it. I would imagine. But yeah, I don't know. I thought this deck was great. If you're looking at Affinity, I've been playing this locally. So you're playing grinding affinity. I've heard some rumors of the grinding affinity deck. It looks pretty cool. Now I'm seeing it here. Why hasn't Primal Prayers taken over Modern yet? Because Imperial Recruiter can't get Greenbelt Rampager. If Imperial Recruiter could get Greenbelt Rampager, then we would be cooking with Molten Gatekeeper Rampager, I think. If you can find me a creature with mana value, I mean, this card doesn't exist, but if you can find me a creature card with mana value, 3 or less, that tutors Greenbelt Rampager and Molten Gatekeeper, or even just Greenbelt Rampager plus like the Bloom Boy. Let me know. Yeah, I know Ranger Captain gets Rampager, but there's just nothing that gets both, which kind of stinks. Goody Phil, the 13 months. Thank you. Welcome back. Yeah, if there was like if there ever becomes like a 1 mana like Altar of the Brood creature, I think there is, but like if they ever put Altar of the Brood on a creature, then we could cook, I think. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna be playing the the Green White Gearhawk. Yeah, green. You can do Greenbelt Rampager and Molten Gatekeeper. You can do Greenbelt Rampager and the 1/3 whenever a creature leaves the battlefield, draw a card. Or you can find another creature that just goes infinite with the Molten Gatekeeper. VIP or mod? Only gonna have to be a mod. We're out of VIP slots. But welcome to the team. Okay, love that this is their turn. Yeah, Dower Port Manager. Just never remember the name of that card. Don't discard a Traxo. Or go surrender Ulamog. Damn it. I didn't speak fast. I guess I said this first, actually. Infinite life, not enough in today's button. Infinite life, not enough. At least on Magic Online, like Greenbelt Rampager, Infinite Life is kind of miserable. Infinite Life does not beat Breach either, which is kind of like the most popular deck in the format. It should beat most other decks though, for whatever that's worth. Oh, that's a right proper top deck it is, governor. Sorry for all the British and the audience. It just started with the Boggart Trawler thing. I apologize. Yeah, I know you can get Infinite Life with Shrieking Drake and like Guide of Souls, but it doesn't beat Breach, which is a big problem, and it's not a super feasible thing in Magic Online. But I've been saying this about Primal Prayers for a while. If you're playing in paper and you're playing locally, that deck is certainly much better because of the Infinite Life combos. How's the Motor Lock today? It has not been bad for me, but I also think that I've noticed opponents lagging more, so I'm thinking that maybe me shredding my collection helps. Maybe me having a really nice PC helps. Lag was also really bad for me last night off stream, and was not great yesterday, so I don't know. What's up with the accent? I don't know. I just kind of picture I just kind of always picture why aren't you paying my pet card, governor? That's just the voice I hear for some reason in my head. I don't know. I do think that is what you sound like, but so I didn't play the Bowmaster end of turn because I'm thinking that maybe they're going to hardcast a Solitude and exile one of my 1/1s and block the other one, and then my Bowmaster can kill the Solitude. So now I'm gonna think they don't have Solitude, and then they're gonna get me. So I'm not gonna play the Frog because they have Solitude. You have Solitude. You don't think I know that you have Solitude? I do hate chatters. I love my chatters. I love that my chatters let me banter with them too. Also, Boggart Trawler is just like so British. Spell Snare. It says they milled Crouch, Watery Grave, Ephemerate. So I guess that's the Spell Snare. It says their username here. They choose Ephemerate instead. So I'm going to go push the Archaeologist in response to Ephemerate. Push again if they have another Ephemerate, which they could have, and leave up Cling to Dust. So it doesn't seem like I have room in my heart for Frog. Well, I guess they could attack and then they Ephemerate. If they don't have second Ephemerate, it could be good too. Leave the Frog up. Just going to bottom both of these though. Drew a Soul Spike anyways. We have one Cling to Dust at the main board. What do you think about Goryo's in the metagame? I've been wanting to play my Mardu Goryo's build again. It's something that we played for a little bit when MH3 first came out, or sorry, when the real MH3, the unbans came out, and it was good. I think in theory that deck is great, where you have a lot of resiliency to graveyard hate between Prismatic Ending, Thoughtseize, and Kalia. Your Arena of Glory plans with Flage, Kalia, and Fear of Missing Out are awesome. You get to actually play Faithless Looting in your deck, which is really dang nice. Okay, and they use a push on my Bowmaster. This turn was such a win. You actually get to play Fatal Push in your sorry. Your Faithless Looting in your Mardu Goryo's deck, which is just like pretty nice compared to Esper. Although Esper has a lot of good cards too. And your like looting Flage plan is like helps you against the energy matchup so much. So I think I like that deck, and I would like to see some people try it out over these Esper builds. But like Esper getting access to counter magic is really big, so Esper could be better. But I just want to play it again because it's been a little bit of time. Could be like backup deck for tomorrow. Did you top deck Solitude? Hear me out. 4-color Goryos. I just really dislike the like having like red on one for looting and blue black on turn 2 for Frog. They did. Ugh, that's so gross. Their best draw possible. Also, the fact that they didn't like try to block the Bowmaster is kind of almost I would say a bad beat. Almost. I think it makes some sense, but if I was them, I would just almost just know like every time exile the 2/2 block the 1/1 here with when I have no resources. Still pretty ahead though. I guess I should probably cycle Cling to Dust here because I've got Snare for Emperor and Goryos. Need to get the ball rolling a little bit. This league has been super fun. Every match has just been so good. They did draw another spell. Okay, I guess we're not cycling the Cling anymore. When I was building, I kind of assumed I wouldn't have red on turn 1 and go for turn 3 Goryos more often. I think that's fair. Okay, so this lets me play an Escape Cling, so we'll play the Island here. Painter with the 43 months. Thank you, welcome back. Chat, are there any good discard outlets besides Frog that are repeatable? Somebody read Monument to Endurance today. Somebody read Monument to Endurance. They drew a land this time. Graveyard's a Delta. Actually not. Ketchermos plus Bag of Holding. My apologies. I was not familiar with your game. Next, I'll the tracks, I think, with the seconds. Sideboarding for game 3? What are we doing here? I just draw a Solitude or a freaking Frog or Emperor opponents. I'm like, I guess I probably should have complained so much about my opponents scooping early, huh? Have I thought about implementing any Buried Alive packages, Governor? I've got a package for you. Buried Alive. I don't know. I have tried Buried Alive in a few different decks, and I've not been super impressed with the card. I actually was off stream one day. I came together with a Yigra. So I would Buried Alive for Yigra, Cauldron Familiar, and then I would combo, and I was so excited about it, and it was like worse than our other Yigra builds on stream. You played Lantern Control like twice last week, dude. I not only did I play Lantern Control, I feel like I had the best build of Lantern Control ever. Like the Restore Balance build was so cool. I last night I was having a really hard time brewing for a while, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna play Lantern Control today. And unfortunately for the Lantern perverts, I built this deck instead. So sorry about that. Okay, so if they have Thoughtseize into Frog, Goryo's, Atraxa, we'll lose. I'm gonna go ahead and just push here, I think. Am I gonna mess with the Restore Balance Lantern more? Oh my gosh. Sorry, I was talking about this, not to you. Yeah, so I was looking at it yesterday, and I'm just like, dang, this list is perfect. I really I didn't really have changes I wanted to make. You know what I mean? Pervert is really a word of the week. I just think it's funny. I don't know. I'm having a laugh. Tough draw to beat. They could brick on Ephemerate, and we'd be in there. Although this Force of Negation is kind of scary. I don't see an Ephemerate. What if we had Eldrazi Temples and K-Command's Lantern? I really think the Restore Balance plan is the way to go, and you got to have a lot of black sources for Beseech the Mirror. Okay, so they choose Atraxa, Marsh Flats, Force of Negation, Thoughtseize. They attack me for 7. So we want to see no Ephemerate. They had the Thoughtseize. They had the Frog. They had the Atraxa. They have the Goryos. Natural. Dude, they also have... Looks like no Ephemerate. We get to play Magic. Being at 7 less life is tough. Or they're going to consign their trigger. It's not exactly better for me. Yeah, we're going to lose. Great league. We did circle back to the Leyline of Residence deck. It did not go very well. Yeah, I'm just going to cast the Necro, then they're going to force, and we're going to concede. Tough draw to be without a surgical or a force of our own. 3-0 to 3-2. Not great. Let's run it back, though. I think the deck looked good. I think the matches were all very close. And the matches were pretty fun. Leyline of Abundance, Green Sun Zenith.